In here today. Tequila's going up. What's good, PG?
Hey, what's the deal, my guy Bruce, man? On the ones and twos, killing it as always. Courtside Radio, we are here doing our thing. So if y'all didn't know, Courtside Radio, we are the Wu-Tang of radio and podcast, man, because you might hear episode with 3 people on there, and you might hear episode with 15 people on here, man, because everybody want to be a part of greatness, man. So we have so much fun here in the TGN Sports Studio, number 2 here in Hawthorne, California. Not too far from where I made history at, which was Luzinger High School. But the birthday boy is in the building. Woo! Let me get some hand claps on that board from him. Happy birthday, my guy. 40 years old. My guy made it to 40. 40 and still kicking.
Get your cup off that table in there. Appreciate you. Yes, and bring a few extras. Thank
Black
you.
man, pull up a chair too, man. We about to make this a thing.
Oh,
and
baby,
make this a party.
This is gonna be a good one.
Courtside Radio, we are here. I am Mike Hill, the PG, once again, the Magic Johnson of the show, to make sure this thing is showtime. Every time you tune into your favorite sports show in the world, and we are not Touchdown with Tangents, man. We bring that fire every time, man. But no, shout out to Touchdown with Tangents, another great show. I just had to mess with my guy Kenny, who's also in the building with us as well. But for you guys checking us out on YouTube, hello, nice to see you guys. Much love. But let me pass this thing on to my guy from the mean streets of Beverly Hills, the one and only Alexander Hines. What's up, Alex?
CSR ain't nothing to fuck with. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Courtside Radio back in the building. Shalom, shalom. Shout out to all the Hebrew brethren who are celebrating Yom Kippur and atoning on this day. We appreciate you. We're representing out here in the Good News Radio studio. It's good to be back, gentlemen, celebrating a big birthday. We've got another one in September. Let's get it rolling, Mike.
That's something I got to atone for.
What?
For us being the most fire show, man. I'm sorry that we got to kill it like this every time y'all tap in.
You know what we got to tell them?
What's that?
CSR ain't nothing to fuck with.
Okay. I told y'all we the Wu-Tang of this thing. But our guy is here, the birthday boy himself, Mr. Ottapappy, the one and only, Mr. Inglewood himself, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. We going to kidnap him and keep him here. He don't even know it yet, but we going to do it. What's the deal, Mike? Happy birthday, man.
Man, appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, it's just another fuego day for me. You know, we just gonna make it happen. But I love that I can spend this time with my guys and shots up, as they say.
Yes, sir. Bro came in there with the fresh black tee, the gold chains, the haircut.
Bro, I had a jersey and I left it at the crib. I thought I was ready. It was daddy duties right before I left, but man, it's been amazing.
And we got to take a moment to shout out the fact that you brought a Nutter Butter with you. That is one of the most underrated snacks ever. Snacks ever.
I got it for my son. He didn't want it, so come on now.
Oh, my God. Your son's screwing up. Come on, man. All right, we're having technical difficulties with the YouTube stream. I'll fix this right now. Michael, get back on the mic. I'll fix it.
It's okay. It's okay.
I apologize.
But it is another day in Courtside. Y'all know how we do. It's back to the OG day, Thursday. And it is a birthday episode, and it is going to be
shots.
Shots.
It's about to be crazy, man. So shout out to my guy, man. Of course, we got in the building. He gonna hop in. The one and only E-Money himself. Oh. My guy Eric is here in the building, multitasking.
A blessing to the studio.
He be on his camera game, so y'all need to go and check him out on social media because my guy Eric be doing his thing.
You want to throw him out there.
You gonna see him at the Chargers, Rams, Lakers, Clippers, Sparks, baseball, whatever you need, man. Tap in with my guy Eric, man, killing it. But we got a special guest. You know you great when you don't have one Slim Shady. You got 2 Slim Shadys. So we got my guy here. He also works at Fox. He's from North Carolina. Have you ever? Do you know who Petey Pablo is, Will?
Not really, no.
It's funny.
How do you not know Petey Pablo?
It's funny because when y'all said, I didn't know. I came ready just in case.
Okay.
I didn't know if y'all was gonna really have him here. So
damn! You should have
do something.
We could have really did it.
Pocket burrito.
Hey, Pocket burrito. Kenny, I need you to call up. Who can we call? It's some places around. Spirit Rhino.
Ghostbusters.
I know you can't call.
I don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want that.
I don't want that. You don't want the bad juju flowing.
Hey, but
he came strapped. I should have shown up too.
My guy Will here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Will.
Well, basically from
Speaking of this
Carolina.
mic, homie, be a pro.
Sorry. From Carolina, just moved here about 3 months ago. Work with Himes here at Fox.
Sorry about
sorry
that.
I had to deal with
yeah,
that.
sorry, guys.
It's
Yeah,
a pain sometimes,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we gotta love
Come
them.
on, man.
It's
But
always
basically, just a big sports nut like everybody else here. Love the NBA just like everybody else, and happy to be here.
Hey, it's gonna be lit, man. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a great show. Got a lot of good stuff to
Greensboro,
talk
baby.
about.
Yeah, Greensboro.
So let's get right to
ACC.
it, man.
Hey,
Let's get right to it.
he got a gas shirt too.
No, yeah, that's gas. Yeah, that's gas. He be off the gas too. But
There you go.
let's get it. John Wall, if you haven't heard out there, that the Rockets pretty much has said, hey, man, we're going to go with our young guys, Kevin Porter, Jalen Green, Joshua Christopher. So we don't really need your services. Let's go out here and find you a trade partner. So John Wall's going to be on another new team.
Yeah.
My question for you, what is the best fit for the one and only John Wall? We're going to start with the birthday boy and move over to Will. You got it first, Mike.
I've been hearing so many squads right now for John Wall, but it's like I feel like he just needs to go somewhere where they don't need you to be a ball dominant player, because that's what, like, you have to transition John Wall's game right now. So I feel like right now, a lot of teams on the East, somebody told me they think Milwaukee might be able to be a good signing spot for him. And I said, I feel like that's good because he needs to go to a contender. But I don't see
I think Drew Holiday's. I think he's best at the point guard.
That's what I'm saying. Drew's definitely going to stay there, but I feel like he's not. I feel like John Wall adding that to any roster does not diminish anything that you have goal wise going into the season.
No, yeah, and that's real because I'm pretty sure he wants to win at this point in time of his career. Will, where would a good fit be for the services of John Wall?
Say the Heat.
I would say the best fit for John Wall would be the Pelicans because they just lost Lonzo Ball.
That's interesting.
They need to get some help around Zion. They can't keep on wasting these years with Brandon
you
Ingram
don't
and
shake
Zion.
my hand.
No. I want to give
great.
him love because it didn't take the chat to talk about the Pelicans today.
I know.
Yeah.
They probably going up right now.
Going up.
We got a fan outside here that like literally brings up the Pelicans
Every time.
show. It
Zion
don't
is
matter
God's
what's going on.
Pelicans
Zion
and
is the
Andre
man.
Ingram.
As a guy who grew up, right beside Duke, Zion, he's a stud, and they need to get him help, or he's going to be gone real
sound like
quick
a
out of
Duke
New
fan.
Orleans.
You a Duke fan?
I like Duke. Yeah.
Okay.
Duke over Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I was like. Is it Duke?
Okay.
Or Carolina?
I like
Duke
Carolina.
over Carolina.
I like
Okay,
Carolina.
I feel you.
But damn, that's a great pick. I think he would be so nice next to BI, Zion. You just got to see what the trade pieces would be to make it make sense
Yeah, they
for the
can't-
Rockets. But the Rockets don't need no wings.
It's a salary dump.
Yeah, salary.
If the Pelicans have to give up like something in salary and then like a bunch of random picks.
Okay, yeah.
Or you involve a third team.
Yeah.
He just got to stay healthy. He's missed like 113 games, I think, over the last
But last
4
year
years.
wasn't a lot of the sitting because it's like we aren't winning. We're not trying
Yeah,
to
they
win.
said him for sure.
Yeah.
And then the year before was more so like
Yeah,
it was
that-
an Achilles.
Yeah,
He's
so you
gone.
have to,
Achilles
get
is out.
yourself.
That's 8
So,
right there.
Bruce,
Yeah.
what would be a great move for John Wall?
Contender for sure. I think he needs to be on a winning team. I don't feel like he's ever really been in a winning situation. Even when he's made the playoffs, I don't feel like the expectation was like you about to get to the Eastern Conference Finals or
Nah.
anything with the Wizards.
That's real.
I think he needs to be in a winning situation. The Pelicans are a good pick just because he fits so well. I think because they need a guard. But another team that they mentioned, of course, was Philly. Philly always gets brought up in all these conversations because you're trying to get Ben Simmons out.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when you want to facilitate a 3-team trade, Philly could be one of those options where you move a guard out and then you move someone else. Houston moves him somewhere as well.
Yeah, true.
But honestly, man, it's tough to say. There's not a lot of teams out there, I think, that need guards anymore.
No, yeah, it's a guard heavy league.
It's a guard heavy league.
Yeah.
I mean, usually when you want to just send people to purgatory to Orlando, they have enough guards.
No, yeah, I know.
They've drafted guards, traded for guards. Markelle Fultz is still supposed to be coming back from an injury.
Cole Anthony.
Who did they pick? And then they picked up the kid
Jalen Suggs.
Jalen Suggs,
who was balling.
Some
And
of
he's
these.
going to get all those minutes. But it's really tough, man, because, Sack's good. OKC has Shea.
But I know a team that's trash that needs his services.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
But Himes, let me hear it. Let me hear
But
it.
also, the Clippers.
Oh yeah,
The
Clippers would be
need
a
to
great
make that move.
Yeah,
They need to make that move.
Yeah.
They don't have a guard.
I know.
They signed Reggie Jackson.
yeah.
That's very true.
Like that's it.
And
Like,
they
who's
lost-
your point? And you don't have Kawhi this year, so you need someone to help.
Somebody, and that would be a great
Yeah.
move.
So my number one, I think I would say on the list is the Clippers.
Clippers. All right, who you got, Himes?
Okay, so considering my 2 picks for like 1 and 2 were taken, I would have said outright like the Pelicans were my number 2 pick because it was a seamless fit just for the entire rotation. Also, just losing Lonzo Ball in and of itself makes it a fill that needs to get taken care of. John Wall fills the scoring aspect. He's a speedy guard, and he's also a distributor. He's a smart ball handler.
Willing facilitator.
Yeah, and he can help and facilitate the growth of Zion and Jackson Hayes and Brandon Ingram, like take them to the next level potentially. But if I'm going to have to pick the team that needs him, the Clippers by far were the team I was going to say outright were the best team fit for that man. John Wall would be a perfect seamless fit alongside Paul George and Kawhi. We've already talked about how they need a point guard. They tried to go to the facilitator experiment with Rajon Rondo. That clearly didn't work. They have Reggie Jackson, which although during the playoffs was a nice step up and a great story alongside Terrence Mann, that doesn't fill the need for the starting point guard slot. So what you need to do is get a guy who's a willing facilitator, a speedy guy that can get around the basket, give these guys open looks, setting up guys like why am I blanking on his name now? Kid that was on Detroit and that's now on the Clippers. Give me his name.
Luke
White
Kennard.
guy. Luke Kennard. Giving a guy like Luke Kennard and all of these 3-point shooters their open looks. John Wall is a seamless fit for that team. And let's be real, they can make it work salary-wise. It's not like the Clippers aren't unwilling to go, 1, into the luxury tax, and 2, have some tradable pieces. They're going into this season getting Serge Ibaka back, and they're going to be better than they were last year with how far they made it without a lot of these guys. So bringing John Wall into the mix only makes sense because they add more to what they already have going. And then they could potentially do what Bruce was talking about with Philly in terms of the salary dump aspect.
Yeah.
They can set themselves up for the future by getting contracts that align all at the same time to 1, resign all these guys, and 2, go after more guys with more money available in that free agency period because it all lines up.
I just don't know what John Wall you get. But if you know that you can get a really good John Wall,
But he's
you can get him to
Yeah, but think about the Lakers. Think about the Lakers. You're going after guys that are, let's be realistic, are injury prone and are older, right?
Yeah,
That's the truth.
So you have to take a chance.
With the Clippers, though, it's
I'm
the
trying
same
to figure out,
concept.
who's because other than the guys on like AD on the roster is injury prone, but all the other guys,
Yeah, and that's like 90% of your ability to get far in the postseason. So let's go back and acknowledge for the
Kevin
Clippers.
LeBron,
No, but you have Russ. Why you always got to make this a Laker argument, man? We're talking
No,
about
we're
John
not,
Wall,
because
man.
we're talking
did
about
bring
the
us in there
Clippers.
like,
No,
y'all not gonna win
because
that.
we're talking about the Clippers. If you're trying to stand up and actually go toe-to-toe with the Lakers, you're willing to sacrifice some guys who would potentially miss games over time. They're not unused to the idea of having this thing called, what is it?
Hey, Will.
What's it called again? Why am I blanking on it? Someone give me the
Will.
name. Time off, health purposes,
Hey, Will, do you like
the
doing?
Nets.
You like
That's
rest
podcasting?
purposes.
Do you like podcasting, Will?
I don't really have much experience at it. I can't lie, but
Because you might have a spot if Alex keep giving us takes.
God damn, man. This is what happens when you're the only Celtics fan on a Lakers show in Los Angeles, a Laker-led show.
You brought him
Neither.
up,
I'm
and
neither. So
but so
Let's see.
He said injuries and gave no names.
yeah, I know, no
He was
name.
like, like injury prone players.
Max
He was like,
Kellerman.
AD.
He Max Kellerman over there.
Russ, AD.
Russ played all games last year.
Yeah, but what has he had to deal with? Numerous injuries to his
Playing
knees
all
and
games.
missing time. That's
But
still
he
an
played all
issue.
games.
Yeah,
That sounds like stability.
Yeah, he's playing on
sounds
a
like
team
great
that doesn't
stability to
need to
me.
necessarily go anywhere last season. When you're playing with the Wizards and you can play free ball, you're not expected to do much, and you're not going to the postseason where what
Hey,
happens to
Himes.
Russ in the postseason? No, look at the record.
They just
Every
lose. He don't be
postseason.
hurt.
No, his injuries occur in the postseason.
Himes, you said
Every
today is
injury.
Atonement Day, right? I forgive you for this,
This
my
is
brother.
true.
But
Happy Passover and Yom Kippur, ladies
so
and gentlemen.
for
Blessings and
myself,
lessons.
before we move on, the team that I think that would be a really good look. I don't know what you guys think. And I'm surprised Himes has said the Boston Celtics. I think they need a playmaker that can make
I was thinking
everyone
that.
else better.
I was
And
thinking
if
that
you
low-key.
can get like Kimbo was a score first point guard. He's been that all the way
Wait,
since
where
back
is
in high school in New York. But John Wall has always
My
been
list.
Let me
Players
give
that I
the
don't
ball.
want. John Wall.
Yeah, but why not? He can defend. He can make players better. He
Y'all
doesn't need the
somebody
ball.
like him.
He understands
Money.
at this point that
He's owed like 90
I'm not the
million.
best guy. So if I can play with a Jaylen
Wait.
Brown, Jason Tatum, I'm just going to be the best point guard.
You
I
know
can
what we're
be.
doing
He'll
though
be
for the
great.
Celtics?
fit, yeah.
Look, you guys don't see it, but the Celtics are trying to set themselves up so they go into the next, not next season, but the year after that, into free agency with over $80 million available. John Wall.
But tell me
roster.
this: when's the last big free agent the Celtics
Al
ever
Horford,
signed?
Gordon Hayward.
Those are not big free agents.
Yes, they
Hayward.
were the top free agents in their class.
You know
Sit
what?
down,
I feel
son.
like he was overhyped.
playing with me.
He was overhyped, but what does that
Well, the
mean?
injury,
he was like-
the injury didn't help him any at all.
Wait,
That was
Hines,
injury prone.
nah, Hey, wait, Mike.
Yeah, he
This
was
is between
injury
me and
prone before
Hines.
that.
Give me a real last free agent that the Celtics signed that you were like,
I
this
literally gave
guy's
you
gonna
two.
give us a championship.
I literally just gave you
Hal
two.
Horford is not a superstar player.
No, 2-1 off season is definitely a big up.
All right, man.
Al Horford.
That's right. Hey, on this day of atonement, I'm going to forgive you for that one. So let's
Nah.
get to the next one.
Get out of here, man. But let us know in the chat room where exactly do you think is the best fit for John Wall? I guess a place that's going to allow him to do the Dougie to come out in the games would be great.
You got to bring it back out.
So
Greatest intro ever.
we had greatest intro ever. So we'll see what's going to happen with him. So let us know in the chat, man. And you can even call in via the Good News Radio app. Remember, just go in there, press call, and it's going to get you right to our line, and we're going to hit you up. Make sure the Skype is opened up so that opportunity is there.
People, pay attention to the banner if you're tuning in on YouTube. You know you can call us, you can tune into us, do whatever you need. Hit up the chat, tap in, baby.
Hit us up, man, because we are ready to go to work. So, like I said, my guy Eric is in the building. So, Eric, I'm gonna have you chime in because we had a deep conversation with this on the past episode, and I want to get you guys' take. So, the NBA has come out and stated that players aren't going to have to be vaccinated. Like the NFL came out with something pretty much different, like, hey, we want you vaxxed. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to deal with all this? The NBA is coming out like, hey, you don't have to be vaxxed. So we're waiting for more details, but it seems like they're going to be a little more lenient on it. So, Bruce, it was me, you, and Eric, I believe, when we talked deeply about that. So, Bruce, what's your thoughts on this whole situation with the vaccination in the NBA?
Honestly, like I said, it's your choice, your body, your choice at this point. You know, like if you want to get the vaccine, you get the vaccine. The only, like, people, they make it seem like you're risking other people's health by not getting vaccinated. But in reality, if you're not vaxxed, you're just the one that's sick, and then you're down. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll know you're sick actually because the guys walking around that are vaccinated won't be able to tell. They won't have any. They'll be asymptomatic for the most part, and then you're at risk. So it's more so about putting you at risk. So, like, why do I need to be vaccinated if I'm gonna have to be out anyway? Now I know that from a team aspect, and if you want to play, like, you'll be out longer. So if you're vaxxed, you're back in like 4 to 5 days. They're like, yeah, whatever. Like once you're past the contagious stage, like you can come back to the team. Yeah. You don't have to like test negative or anything. They already know what it is. You just have to be past like the first 3 to 5 days. Once that clears, fine. But to force someone to say you need to be vaccinated, I think is ridiculous at this point. I work in a business where, or like I said, a field where it's getting to the point where we're going to have to at least ask people if they're vaccinated. And it's because it's the federal mandates and stuff like that. So the laws are going to like require that a lot of companies over 100 employees get vaxxed.
Yeah.
And
y'all booming.
Everybody's trying to figure that out right now because you can't press issue. But I will say this, just how they say you can't go in these places without being vaccinated. They're lying. You go to they're like, go to the other door over there and answer 5 questions. Are you sick? No. Okay, go.
No, yeah,
like,
that's
it's
real.
BS. So like, honestly, like the narrative that is
there we go. We got the word of the show.
The narrative that is out is that, like you have to have this vaccine to get access to places. You have to have this vaccine, but in reality, you don't.
Really?
And like it's like a straight loophole where like it doesn't really matter. So like all the shit they press in is BS to me at this point.
So before we get to the guys,
y'all get vaxxed because you don't want to die.
Eric, I want you to chime in on this because we had a strong conversation about this, the vaccine and things like that. So I just want you to give your thoughts on that.
I gotta agree with my boy Bruce. It's a personal decision, and the thing that frustrates me the most with this whole ordeal is the politicization of the vaccine. It's become a very huge wedge partisan issue, and what I do admire about the NBA is that they're still giving agency to the players because it's a player driven league. They don't want to ostracize and isolate any of their players. Whereas with the NFL, it's all about the bottom line. And you can tell with the decisions and the rationale with how they're going about it. I'm very consistent in my train of thought. I'm more of a, I guess, libertarian. I think each person, each adult should be able to have agency over what they do with their body, and the government shouldn't interfere.
Facts.
If a person doesn't want to get the vaccine, then guess what? They contract the coronavirus. They need to suffer the consequences, right? If a person wants to get vaccinated, then they should be able to benefit from our society. So, ultimately, I do admire what the NBA has decided to do. I think this is a very good move, a very good PR move, a very good strategic move by the association, and it just shows again why the NBA is the greatest league when it comes to to players. So yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah, man, great take right there from our guy E Money. You guys have any words, Himes? I see you staring at me. You have something to say? You in deep thought?
Look, the NBA is a business, so they can do whatever they want and make their rules just like any other business. I want to mention this, that my grandmother, before she passed away earlier this year, last year, in fact, a family member of ours was vehemently against getting vaccinated and didn't have an issue with it. My grandmother was still waiting in line, basically, in terms of the order to get her vaccination. And after visiting them, she ended up contracting COVID. And that's why I'm against the concept of not having people get vaccinated. Look, you're a private business. You can make your rules. I'm okay with the NBA doing it. Do what you want. But think about it from a private citizen perspective. You want everyone else to be safe. It's not just about you and your situation. You're thinking about your loved ones. You're thinking about your neighbors, the people that you hang with, the people that you work with every day. If a company mandates that you got to be vaccinated to work, they have every God-given right to do so because we live in America. And every company is its own private business, and they can make their rules. If people don't like that, that's okay. Just as we said, we're private citizens. We can make our own decisions on our body. We have agency on our body. Unlike if we're in Texas, where they're telling you that you can't get an abortion, which is complete bullshit. And I will say that if you are a male and you're making rules about that, you have zero right to talk about what a woman should do with her body, because you don't understand what any woman goes through during the process of being pregnant or have to deal with a child. So unless you're dealing with it, don't make rules upon it, because it's not our business, not your body, not your business. Getting back to COVID, if people don't,
you know what this means when somebody says something?
Yeah, come on.
Okay,
come on, bro.
Yeah, I just have to check.
Look, it's the truth. I might personally think that people should get vaccinated, and I have personal experiences with multiple friends and family members in particular that ended up contracting the virus because other people around them weren't willing to do so and get themselves safe when they themselves are between the ages of 20 to 30 and infecting loved ones that are in the age range where this could be a killer virus. So if people want to do that, that's okay. The NBA can do that. And again, that's why the NBA in and of itself, as we had said, is one of the greatest leagues on the planet, because they have the ability to make their own rules. They're a player-driven league, and they're also a business at the end of the day. So they're thinking about their bottom dollar. But I will implore players, be safe. All I ask is be safe, because if you don't get vaccinated, okay, that's your choice. But be safe around who you choose to be around, how you're going about your business, because it's not necessarily about you. You guys are going to be safe regardless most of the time, because you're in the age range. Your body is healthier than, let's be real, most of the people on this panel. It's those around you that are going to suffer if they are in that age range where it can be a killer virus. And all I care about is making sure that off the court, I might hate you because you're against my team, but you're still a person. You're still a human being. I love watching and talking about you. I want to see you be okay as well as your family.
No, yeah, that's real.
Because
so you got it, Mike.
I'm about to say, because the NBA literally they're very compassionate now that it comes to players and knowing things that's happening in the world. They're conscious about these situations, and they're not oblivious to the fact that this is an everyday struggle for certain people. So now that once you say that I'm behind you, and then they're giving the leniency now for players to even make their own money, more money.
Yeah.
So I'm loving it. So it's like now, since they didn't mandate it, that's the best part to me, because it lets me know that you give people the opportunity and the chance to go ahead and, like, look, this is my body. People still doing research because there's still Delta variants and now new variants that people are saying that people bring from Afghanistan are bringing over. So come on now. Like, now they're still learning more about it as people are dying even more. So the NBA seems like they have it under control for the most part, especially when they hit the bubble. 0 contracted for how many consecutive?
It was like 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. Yeah.
Can I also just take a moment to point out that although there are variants, right? We had the polio vaccine. That worked. We have the flu. What do we get every year? We get a new flu shot because variants erupt and also viruses virulate.
Like this type of disease, like it's like, as you said, it's it's not, I'm not saying it's the same thing as the flu, obviously, but I'm saying it is like the flu in the fact of it's not going to go away. So we're always going to have those booster shots.
And we also get chicken pox.
Yeah.
We get chicken pox.
It's not like polio where you can just eliminate it. It's like, it will always be here now. Like I think at the end of the day, we're always going to have cases and stuff. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I agree. It's your body, your choice. You do what you want to do with it.
Look, all I'm imploring is that, as a private entity and a private business, I mean, we work for Fox Sports, and the majority of people, I think we just got an email saying that 90% of our company is vaccinated, which is a blessing because not only does it mean that people can know when they're going into their job where they're going to be a lot more people because it's college football season, it's NFL season, right? Mm-hmm. Their family members aren't going to be at risk, whether they're in that age range or they're young. And now we're seeing more COVID cases occurring in kids, and that's the worst part. You're seeing young kids getting sick with this. They might recover, but as a kid, you should never have to be hospitalized over a sickness that can be preventable at the end of the day, right? To me, I hope and pray that these guys just stay safe because this is the world that we live in now. Sure, variants will come up and things will change and more science will be reproduced. Just don't listen to Nicki Minaj, vote against what's going on in Texas, and be safe around who you're being around and do what you can.
Listen to Nicki. Stop playing with Hans, man.
Did you see what she said on Twitter?
No, I don't know.
Did you know that?
I just know it was a little outrage.
No, all right, let me just put this out there. She said that her cousin in, I believe it was Trinidad. I might have that wrong. His balls swelled up after getting the vaccine and his wedding was put off. The country of Trinidad made a statement stating they have no record of her cousin. 1, 2, they have no record of anyone in her family getting the COVID vaccine. And then she went on Twitter saying she was locked in Twitter jail for not tweeting. They turned that down and said, no, that's false. And then she said that she was offered to come to the White House and get a visit over it. The White House actually retweeted it and said, we actually said that you could get a phone call. We're not inviting you in. So,
that's wild.
I said, don't listen to celebrities. Get your own personal opinions.
Make your
own
views. Decision. It's your body. Make your own decision. Do what you feel is best for you, and that's what matters.
And that's why we're drinking Casamigos to celebrate Mike.
So let us know it's not real Casamigos. Stop playing, man. So you just having a bad day, Himes.
Player hates
Will,
player hates
I'm going to talk to you after the show. But Courtside Radio, we are here doing our thing, man. It is so lit up in here. The Wu-Tang of this thing. Mike here, the PG, Bruce Courtside, Alex Himes, our guy Mike on his birthday. We celebrating, we turning up. Then, of course, we got our guy Will, straight from North Carolina. Come on. I can't believe you don't know Petey
Pablo.
Yeah, you got to know Petey, bro.
First of all, me and my homie got a turquoise from the Freaky League video.
Yeah.
Just go back.
Petey Pablo, bro. You gotta look him up. He has a song for y'all. That's the song of North Carolina.
Remember what I said earlier in the show?
I just don't know much
What's
about
that?
CSR ain't nothing to fuck with.
Oh yeah, exactly what he
more
said.
J. Cole, Carolina guy.
And then shout out, of course, my guy E Money. Eric is in the building doing his thing with the camera work today. Y'all heard him with his great take on the vaccine. But we are here, so we are going to continue our what if segment that we started once Marvel started their what if. So if you haven't seen the latest episode, make sure you tap in.
Don't spoil it.
I know, but it's the episode with
Bruce,
Killmonger. It. So it's a really dope. I never watched it before. Yeah, it's a really dope show. So make sure y'all tap into the what if scenarios in the Marvel universe. And we're going to start with Bruce first on this one because this is a topic that I think is really, really crazy. So what if in 2000, Tim Duncan decided to sign with the Orlando Magic? It was really close to happening, if you guys didn't know out there.
I remember this.
That he was nearly signing there because he wanted to be closer to his home, Virgin Islands. So this is when he was the summer of 2000. He was 24 years old. The Lakers just won their first championship. It was like, damn, they about to have things on lock. You had T-Mac go over to the Orlando Magic. You had Grant Hill at 27, four-time All-Star, go over to the Orlando Magic. And you had Tim Duncan pretty much saying, this is where I'm going to go. His teammate Bruce Bowen pretty much said when Tim went out to meet with Orlando, he asked this question, and this question shifted everything, was that can family come on flights to some games and he said from what he understood, Doc Rivers said no, and that's where they lost Tim Duncan.
Oh.
So it was something that small. If he would have gave him the
That's
LeBron
huge.
treatment, we're like, man, yeah, bring your family. You Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan probably would have played for the Orlando Magic. So
And this is 2001, correct?
2000.
2000.
So the summer of 2000. How would that have changed the league? What if? What's your thoughts, Bruce?
I think Tim Duncan would have went to Orlando, got injured, and just been
What?
a guy
Man,
with like
I was
2
gonna say-
blows.
He wouldn't have had two if he was injured. He just had one at the time.
I was
He
gonna
only
say,
had one at that time.
Yeah, he won in
yeah.
'99.
Yeah,
That
he
was
wanted,
it.
Let him
yeah, he
know,
wanted
Bruce.
99.
That's it.
Let
It
him
would have
know,
just
Bruce.
been a wrap for him. He would have just like what did I call Orlando?
Yeah, but back
Purgatory.
then they were like, I don't know. I thought they were
They
They
were
were
if you
like,
have
what?
him,
They were
T-Mac,
like, what?
and Grant
everybody
Hill,
got hurt.
this is
Everybody
right
got
after
hurt.
Wait.
Shaq Penny.
That sounds like
And who got hurt?
team all
Grant Hill was the only
all
one.
physical therapy, orthopedic
No,
recovery, rehab centers.
But think about that run that
First
T-Mac
team
made.
all
Orlando?
AARP.
And if you'd have had Tim Duncan with him in the East that wasn't really top heavy.
they would have been good. They'd have been
Orlando.
very good. I just don't.
They got hurt
I don't
too
think it
much.
would have went there.
But that would have changed the league because now
But
the
it
Lakers
was-
don't have the Spurs to deal with.
Lakers don't have the Spurs to deal with. The East is all mixed up. I know, like there's a lot. Like who's the coach? Doc.
Yeah,
Lakers
Doc Rivers.
3-peat still.
Where does he stay there?
Man, if they winning, if they get
Did
a
the
ship or
Celtics get a
two,
ring?
nope.
Ooh.
What were you 40 say?
Orlando?
Nope.
If Orlando,
I'm gonna leave that one to Hives.
Now, Will, you got it though. You got it, Will.
Orlando is like, I don't see why. Obviously, like they're now just a purgatory, as you said. Like they haven't done anything since 2009, really,
Yeah,
or since like
since
a few years
Dwight,
after
yeah.
that. Yeah, but
That's right. Be
Like,
honest. Feel
but
it.
I mean, as a guy who lived there for a few years, like I feel like if they were good, it's a very easy place to get players. It's like a Miami almost, except it's in the middle of Florida, but it's like a very easy place to get players. There's no state tax. It's kind of cheap to live there. Like I just don't see why they can't get these players to come there. And I think back then, if they would have had that, they could have won a few chips.
So how old were you in 2000?
2.
I won. I don't remember this at the time. I can't lie.
He's going to the NBA highlight vault.
But man, I just think that if you add Tim Duncan there with T-Mac, who was starting to emerge as this great player, he was 21 at that time. Grant Hill could have took even more time to get himself ready to realize, okay, at this point with my ankle looking like this, I'm going to be the third best player. And you get to play with a T-Mac and Tim Duncan that was MVP status around that time. They would have ran the East for years to come. It would have been like 4 straight. They would have been the new Lakers Celtics because you would have had the Lakers versus Orlando damn near every year. It'd have been T-Mac versus Kobe, Duncan versus Shaq.
And
Let's
Lakers
see who's-
3-peat still.
No, I still think they 3-peat.
Lakers still
But
3-peat.
it just would have been crazy. And then like to have no Spurs, Popovich probably would have eventually lost his job because like how do you lose Tim Duncan? It would have been very interesting. So Mike, what's your thoughts? What if Tim Duncan decided to go to Orlando? How would it have shifted the league?
I feel like he would have had to understand that you have talent around you. You're in your prime. You're like in your youth going into your prime.
Mm-hmm.
And you're already a defensive juggernaut. But you had offensive game, Mr. Fundamental, every day. That bank shot was crazy.
Oh yeah.
But he was athletic back then. When you say 21, come on now. You mix
Fresh
him
out
with,
of Wake Forest.
that's man. And you take that Tim Duncan, mix him with T-Mac, who was easily a NBA scoring champ twice, but loved it. And he was a bucket in all 3 phases of offense. And North Carolina is playing P.D. Pablo. Go ahead. North Carolina.
This is
play
the
hands
first
up.
time he's hearing this too. Let me shout
That's why
that
I'm like,
out.
that's why I had to say that's hilarious.
Hey, this is the North Carolina anthem. I didn't know much about what was going on over there
I will take
until
my
this
shirt
guy.
off.
And drave it around like a helicopter, man. Shout out P. Pablo. So Himes, what would Tim Duncan to the Orlando Magic in the year 2000 have done to the NBA?
All right, so I have a bunch of things that I listed, but I'm surprised no one mentioned probably the most important thing.
What's
so
that?
I'm going to start with the first obvious things. Doc Rivers would stay in Orlando. Like if he lands
that's
in Duncan,
obvious. Yeah.
that just it automatically means the Celtics in 2008 don't occur because I
That's
think it was
if they win. Because if they don't win, you kind of like, bro.
No,
you're
I
no,
not
still
it
think he's
doesn't
there either
matter.
way because they're contending.
No, it doesn't matter regardless because you got to think about the timeline. Doc Rivers joined the Celtics in 2004. Within a 3-year window, you are not going to see Doc Rivers leave. That's a 4 to 5 year team that you give enough time for a guy
Yeah,
like
but
that
if you
to
can't
build.
make the finals with emerging T-Mac and Duncan, they would have been like, man, we
You're
need to
talking
try
about the
something
linchpin
new.
of injuries, though. That's what my next point was. That
Okay.
Grant Hill's career would get extended
three.
slightly because the pressure wouldn't be on him to be the number one guy or number two guy behind T-Mac. He would have a guy that he can play off of and also take a little bit more time for injuries, right?
Mhm.
They would definitely land more free agents, as Will had mentioned, solely from the fact that it is Orlando. State income tax, shout out to OJ, avoiding everything. And also,
Nah, he's in Vegas. I saw him.
right now,
Yeah.
you ever see what he did with the money before the first
Oh,
time?
yeah, I
And
know.
put that money in
Shout
houses
out
in
OJ, man.
Florida.
He's a good dude. When I'm
Yeah,
at
we're,
it.
we're not endorsing that. Let me make that very clear.
Hey, don't
I'm
don't
rocking with
The
OJ.
Pistons titles by far would be a challenge. It could be potentially denied or not. The one title that they managed to pull off. The Lakers, I also think, would have had a run for their money better than they had actually received. Let's face it, the New Jersey Nets, there was no freaking guarantee
No,
that
yeah.
the Nets were going to win that in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
No shot.
But
There
the
was never a
biggest thing
chance.
that changes
No shot.
is that the 2003 draft changes entirely. What did the Spurs do the first time to land Tim Duncan? They tanked. What do you
much.
expect them to do if they are losing Tim Duncan in 2000? They're going to tank and go tank and tank
No,
and
yeah,
tank.
and just
The
build to the
2003 draft changes. So that means Darko Milicic might not be in that top selection slot by the
He might have
Pistons.
went to the Spurs.
That means that LeBron James's number could be potentially different. A different team having him. Although the NBA rigged that one.
Yeah, they
Chris
wanted him to
Bosh,
leave.
Dwayne
None
Wade
of them
might
went
not
to
be
the
on
short.
their respective teams in Toronto and Miami. It changes the entire landscape of the league from what we can see now.
Yeah.
It's not one small thing. It's the butterfly effect that we saw with Ashton Kutcher in that really crappy movie, but it actually
my
made a
God.
great point.
You did.
Everything changes
And
off of one small
Another
scale
thing
event.
is, I brought it up earlier. Who would have challenged the Lakers? I think the Dallas Mavericks would have been the number one threat.
Oh, you should have
With-
mentioned that when you were talking earlier because this is my time. That's why the 2003 draft
Sorry
would have
about that.
changed everything. The NBA as we know it would have changed entirely.
No, true.
Think about who the Eastern Conference champions were going year and year and year after that.
Yeah.
The Orlando Magic would have been a great team. The Spurs could have potentially landed one of the top Hall of Famers from that ever regarded
played,
2003
That's
draft. That's why
The who?
the 2003
You
draft.
said Orlando?
No, I said the
Oh,
Spurs
Spurs,
could have
okay,
landed
yeah.
one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
Melo,
ever
Wade.
highly regarded 2003 drafts.
They would have probably got
Things would have
Melo
changed.
or Wade, just like you
Exactly.
said, but I
That's
feel
why
they would've took
Bosh
Wade.
even.
The
I
landscape
feel like they would've
changes.
took Wade.
And
Depends
if they
what pick.
look between those two guys, imagine having them with Greg Popovich as a coach. That changes the
Yeah.
entire NBA
And
landscape.
now
Yeah.
it changes Pop because now Pop is one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time, you know, with his 5 rings. And now without that, you have 1 ring, then you lost Tim Duncan. It's like, what's next? But like I was saying,
Pop
Dallas-
coached 3 Hall of Famers.
yeah, facts. Dallas would have been the team because you had Nash, Michael Finley, Dirk. They probably would have been competing in the conference finals every year. So
and it wouldn't just be them.
yeah.
It wouldn't have just been them on the Mavericks. You know who would have been?
Who else?
We already heard the rumor about Paul Pierce. I guarantee you,
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Pierce would have been on the Mavericks, and they would have been running titles at that point because Paul Pierce would be stuck in Boston without Doc Rivers
Bro,
and the 2008
Wait,
Celtics.
Well, he
What year
decided
did
to
Cuban
be
take
there.
over the Mavericks? Do we know?
Early
Oh, I can't
2000?
remember. Yeah, early
Because-
2000.
wait a
yeah.
second.
Because,
wait,
because
fact
you
check,
know he
fact
would
check.
go after a huge free agency.
When they
at that
drafted
point.
Dirk,
That's true. Yeah,
when they
he was
drafted
throwing
Dirk,
money
He
around.
was
yeah.
throwing money at everybody.
Even back then,
he was the first guy to
Yeah.
like make player like locker rooms
Hey,
really
so
nice. Like,
Year
Let-
2000. 2000 exactly is when
Perfect.
Mark Cuban bought the Mavericks for $285 million.
Who did they draft?
he's gonna
Dirk that
throw
year,
money
right?
at all these.
No,
free
that
agents.
wasn't Dirk that year.
No,
Come
Dirk year was what year?
on.
It was
90,
96, right?
It was the year.
96 is Kobe.
Yeah,
That's
it was
Kobe year.
draft.
So was he 90? Look up that for me, Hines. What,
What?
year? Because I know Dirk and Paul Pierce came in the same draft. But
96.
no, that's Kobe.
All right, Pierce was 98.
98. Okay.
Yeah, he was 10 and 98.
Hey, so shout out KIAT 1000 who's in the chat. They said they haven't dropped the ball yet on COVID protocols at the NBA. And Orlando front office now is doo-doo, which you're 100% right. So shout out to you, man. Thanks for tapping in. And don't forget, man, don't be shy. Tap in with us through the chat. We'll talk to you. Hey, check out the YouTube chat. See if we got anybody there, Bruce.
Oh, yeah,
We
true.
got an announcement for Courtside from the Sidelines right now. We found out who next year's Hard Knocks is going to be.
Who is it?
Rams.
The
Done.
Indianapolis Colts.
That's not a big story.
Gross.
Not a big story.
I know.
I don't care.
Should
Nobody
be the
cares.
Lions.
Peyton
Manning
and
dropped
Campbell. That would be hilarious.
Press that
Or
again.
New England
There you
Patriots.
go.
I've
There
always
you
wanted
go.
to see what
Good.
behind the scenes with Bill Belichick would be.
I thought teams couldn't make the. I thought it was you had to not make the playoffs the year before.
No, they just put whoever they feel fits.
yeah, no, I mean, look, yeah.
Last
So-
few
I thought
years,
they had
they
like
just
two
put
Hey,
Diesel.
Tim
Wow, come
Duncan
on.
Man, Tim Duncan would have went
That's
down as the
Cincinnati.
greatest
That's
Orlando
Cincinnati.
player. Hey, who's the greatest Orlando Magic ever? Just so
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shaq.
Is that what you said? Thank you, E.
Shaq.
Thank you.
yeah, Shaq. I just
Well,
want to
also
make sure.
big. What if Anderson hits those free throws in the finals and they win that game and they go and win the
No,
finals?
you mean was that Anderson or Dennis Scott?
I would
thought it was
love
Dennis
to,
Scott.
No, that was Nick Anderson.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
was
love-
Nick
He
Anderson.
missed,
That
he
was.
missed
Anderson,
4
yeah.
straight free throws.
They missed 4
I
straight
would
free throws
love-
against the Rockets.
I would love to say Tracy McGrady, but I feel like the longevity that he had in the career as a Orlando Magic wasn't long
Because he was
enough.
with the Rockets.
Shaq is
That's-
the most
That's why,
talented
like,
player
Shaq
Magic
came
ever.
out and
Man.
just balled from day one.
We're forgetting about Adonal Foyle.
Get out
No,
of
we're
here.
not.
I remember his
Turkle.
last
Rick
season.
Siley.
Hey,
Rick
Hito
Siley.
Turkoglu.
JJ Redick.
No, let's be real. Hito Turkoglu
JJ.
may have had one of the best
Designated
random
That's my boy.
postseasons. Hito Turkoglu may have had one of the best random postseasons for the Orlando Magic ever.
In
Hey,
That
2009.
was just not real.
Hey,
It's
so
so unrealistic.
before we move on, Eric, what's your thoughts? How would what would have happened if Tim Duncan had went to Orlando in 2000? Because you remember that, right? Yeah.
So if Tim Duncan goes to Orlando, I think T-Mac still get injured.
Yeah.
Grant Hill still gets injured. So Tim Duncan is stuck in Orlando by himself. The Minnesota, Florida, right?
Oh God.
He's cat.
So I don't think Tim will want to be there stuck with Doc for an extended period of time. So he, try to push his way out of Orlando. Doc ends up probably in Minnesota coaching. Like Haim said, it totally changes the landscape of that 2003 draft. So LeBron is probably not in Cleveland, or Melo and D-Wade. One of them is in San Antonio. So does LeBron get a ring? Moving forward, do they team up down in Miami? What happens with the Lakers? There's so much that would have taken place. I don't think Miami is. I don't think
It's
Miami.
gonna happen still.
Yeah.
I don't think Miami is the team that it became to be. Shaq still leaves the Lakers, but where does he go? Does he go to New York? Does he go to Chicago? So there's so much that would have transformed the league. I don't think they would have won much because T-Mac still ended up getting injured.
That might also change the lockout. Let me throw that out there. That might have changed the lockout too. The lockout season.
Nah, lockout's still gonna happen.
The lockout may have happened, sure, but that would have changed a lot of different scenarios.
Yeah,
for
I
who would've
still
won
think
that
Wait,
year.
which
An
lockout?
inevitability though.
I still think LeBron, but
2012.
y'all gotta think about this. T-Mac, that 4-year stretch, he wasn't really
28
hurt.
or 29.
He averaged 28 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block with Orlando. So if you get that T-Mac with Tim Duncan, bro, they're winning at
But
least
that's
all
what I'm
the
saying.
time.
And
longevity
let's
that
also
you got
throw
that
this one
from.
out there.
'Cause he
The
was hurt.
Portland Trailblazers potentially select someone else to pair with Brandon Roy, and then they become the team of the West.
my
I'm going to
God.
die on
All
my
right.
grave.
Stop
Brandon
this. How
Roy
you stop that,
every
Mike?
So let me
day.
guess, Tim Duncan would have went there.
I
Nah.
wish, man. I wish. I wanted Brandon
Hey,
Roy
so-
to win so badly.
I wanted him to play so bad.
A crazy what if
Everyone.
scenario.
Alex just doesn't want the Lakers to win.
No, that's he
No,
can do
it's
anything.
Brandon Roy. Can we all agree on this panel for one
That he was
moment
dope?
that we all wish we saw more Brandon Roy?
No,
Yes,
of course,
I
yeah.
just said that.
I do,
Kobe gave him
especially because
buckets
I
more and more.
Yeah,
especially
Kobe
because
was-
I caught the end of Brandon Roy. So
Yeah.
So let me
I
also
played him
point
one
out that on this
time
Laker
at
panel,
USC
wait
Sports
one
outside.
sec. You brought up the Lakers when I was talking about Brandon Roy, and you guys gave me crap when I was talking about the Lakers when we talk about the Clippers. And what makes more sense? Talk about the Lakers when we're talking about the Clippers because they're both in Los Angeles.
Clippers
that
are
makes no
ass.
sense.
We don't talk about the Clippers.
There are 2 players
You're a hater.
whose careers were shortened by injuries that I would have liked to see more of. Brandon Roy and Michael Redd. Both of them were guaranteed buckets.
God, yes.
I would have loved to see
Grant Hill.
Derrick Rose.
I'm
still
going to
to this
say
day.
Andrew Bynum and
Grant
then
Hill.
Greg Oden.
Yeah,
Andrew
but that's-
Bynum and Greg Oden, because Andrew Bynum was crazy.
Come on, leave the Chia Pet out of this.
But,
Let's focus on basketball,
Let's
bro.
push it forward. So we got a Celtic dump this week. Our guy Himes is going to talk his Celtic talk. So Himes, take it away, man.
ESPN people, as you know, because we're going to talk about the Celtic dump right now, we have to talk about ESPN particularly dropping their rankings and preseason predictions for this season. We're going to focus on the Eastern Conference because I want to leave the Lakers alone in this one. The Celtics were predicted to go 47-35, number 6 in the Eastern Conference. Now, my only gripe with this actually isn't with the record itself. It's that every team not Milwaukee and actually not the Brooklyn Nets, and surprisingly somehow the Philadelphia 76ers, with all of their own issues internally, managed to be above 50 wins. Every other team, though, including the tied 10th, the tied 8th, and then the 10th seed team for the play-in tournament was ranked below 40 wins, including the tied for 8th seed, which was somehow the Chicago Bulls and the Charlotte Hornets, ranked at 40 and 42.
Damn.
Being below the playoff line. Thank you. I personally think
Charlotte, I can understand.
This
but
year,
the Bulls,
given how the advancement of the Eastern Conference has gone, we've constantly talked about how the Eastern Conference is no longer the same puttering misfits that it used to be, where every team that wasn't in the top 4 was clearly a sub 500 team. Put some respect on their name, ESPN. These are teams that are going to win more games than you anticipate, and it's going to be a much tighter conference as a whole. We're not going to see 7 teams in the East vying for a playoff position under a sub 500 record. The Celtics, by and large, being at 47 and 35, pretty accurate, especially given a season where with a new head coach, we're getting to experience the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown experiment, running it back with a new lead point guard, potentially being Dennis Schroeder or Peyton Pritchard. Either way, I'm happy with. But this Celtics one, Dennis Schroeder, dropping $84 million for $5 million with Boston. I love it, baby. Trade the sunny side of California for cold and crappy winters of Boston. My heart warms slightly, even though it's pretty damn cold. Look, New England is going to have a great sports team this year. The Celtics are going to be a lot better. This dump is specifically isolated on the fact that the ESPN is not respecting the Eastern Conference. I think the panel can all agree that while by and large there are some teams that will make the playoffs that are sub 500 or teetering around the 500 mark, more teams will actually be hovering around the near 48 to 49 win range. I can't understand who these quote-unquote insiders are. We constantly talk about this, especially with guys like Nick Wright, who dropped rumors about Kyrie Irving, number 11, who I'm formally referring to, as retiring if he gets traded from the Brooklyn Nets, which we all know the puppet master, in terms of what Nick Wright does, spewing out nonsense, says. These are insiders, the type of insiders that are making these predictions. So I want to open this up to the panel. Do you guys think, we're not talking about the Celtics, mind you, that's the asterisk I'll make. By and large, the Eastern Conference will have teams mostly puttering around the 500 mark that make the postseason, or do you think that these are going to be teams? Wait. Yeah. Do you think that these are going to be teams that are actually somewhere around the 50 win range?
It's just like last year. You got your top 4 teams. After that, everybody else sucks. So
yeah, I mean,
well, that's the crappiest take I've heard all day. But because it's Yom Kippur, I'll make amends for that.
It's real, though. It's real.
No, I mean, as you said, you have the Nets, the Bucks, the Sixers a little bit. I mean, the Ben Simmons thing is out there.
Heat, Hawks, Knicks,
Hawks,
Bulls.
Knicks, Bulls. I even think, again, as you said, I think
Charlotte.
I think the Hornets have a good future. I think the Cavs have a good future. I don't know if it's this year.
Pause.
I think they have a good future in the backcourt. And then, but like, there's no real contenders outside
only
of probably
the top
2 teams.
4 teams that he mentioned can win 50 games.
We're not talking
all
about
the rest
being
are going
contenders.
to be.
We're talking about just overall record. There's a disparity.
They're going to get their ass whooped by a lot of the West teams.
Hey,
that's
sit
why
down,
the Rockets.
I think 6 through 8 will all hover around 500.
We got Michael playing as Jarrett Jackroll as the backup point guard right now.
6 through 8.
Talent is more dispersed in the East now, so it's not like there's going to be too many teams getting consistent blowouts on them, like looking at easy dubs throughout the season. So I feel like it's going to be more around like the 44, 45 range, but those will be the teams on the East that probably won't make it, or they'll be fighting for a chance.
Man,
but going towards 50,
is top
it's only
heavy.
going to be a few, just like we said, 3 to 4 squads, literally, right now.
We're talking above 50 wins.
That's what I'm
fair.
Above 50? No, I'm talking about getting 50 or more, 3 to 4 teams at best.
At best,
yeah. They currently rank that the Charlotte Hornets and the Chicago Bulls are tied for the 8th seed
at 40 and 42.
40 and 42.
Sounds about right.
No.
I give them about 44 for the Bulls.
Yeah, 44 to 45
They have
wins.
to play the West a lot of games, and they're going to lose to the teams from the West. The West 8th seed is much better than the East 8th seed.
I think as he said, like the East is, they're kind of even outside of the top 4 teams, so they're going to beat themselves up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they're going to hand each other L's, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think as like the 6 through 8 seeds are 6 through 10 with the play-in, they're all kind of evenish.
Hey, so Bruce, get ready because the drops are coming for you guys in a quick second. No, because I already know his answer is the East trash. Lakers gonna win the
Lakers, Celtics not making a playoffs. Move on.
I told you, I already know
Lakers in 5.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
the Lakers comment.
Hey, ready.
Hey, this is
Lakers in
And
5.
mind you, to everyone tuning in, What did we say at the beginning of the show? I got crap for bringing up the Lakers during a Clippers discussion.
Bro,
here we are talking about the Lakers in an Eastern Conference discussion, and I made it clear I'm not talking about the Lakers.
He just talked
In
about
five,
the East.
yeah,
He said it don't matter because the Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. It doesn't
He just
really
wants
matter.
to. Do you talk about me?
He tries to find every way to pull it that we're not going to win.
Man.
Bro, it's inevitable at this point.
So,
I just
hey,
want you
I'm
to
not
know.
talking about the Lakers winning. We're solely
Oh,
isolated.
Oh, no, we
on the
are. We
East.
are. Not.
Hey,
We understand.
let me
Second
go
round
ahead. We are
playoff
right
win. Yeah, that might be it.
Hey guys, thank you guys for tuning in Courtside Radio, man. But let me take you around the league really quick. Just 2 things. Aaron Gordon gets a $92 million contract from the Nuggets. Wow.
See, that's what happens when your agent works for Clutch Sports and you're ripping off every team which way and no how.
shout out Nick Wright.
Wait, you said Aaron Gordon?
Yeah, you tried to bash Nick Wright.
A career 12-point per game score, mind you.
There you go.
know-
That's what
you
he
know,
says. Career 12-point per
The
game
dunk
score.
contest competition.
Oh, that gets him the money.
No. It's not even that. Guess what his birthday is?
When?
September 16th.
Oh, so that's his birthday. So it's
That's why
love
I
for
was like,
you.
that's why I said
Okay.
Aaron. Wait, I know who this is.
So they bless you, man.
Yeah, 12 points per game can get you $90 freaking million.
It doesn't matter. They're mainly
Yeah, Nerlens
off-
Hey, Will, how old are you, Will?
22.
22?
Oh,
Can
okay.
you hoop?
Run it.
Can you hoop?
A little bit.
He said,
Will,
I can shoot. I can shoot.
We got 4 years to work on this game to get him in the league by
Yeah,
26 so he get the big
I got
He's
bag.
an elite 30% three-point shooter, baby.
on the 3-point
Yeah.
line.
Oh, you're lefty. He can be Luke Kennard. He can be Luke
so
Kennard.
we can
I'm a
definitely-
lefty too, just like Luke.
Yeah, he can be Luke
Okay,
Kennard.
so I can block that. Gotcha.
So we're going to go get our bag because they just handing them out. You might get the 2.6 from the Lakers or they might throw you 90 by just
Michael,
averaging
we talked
I'll
about it.
take
They throwing
500K.
2.6s out there.
Long goes the days of the Miami Heat signing players for $700K as a veteran's minimum in
I'll take that.
2012. Remember
No,
that?
yeah, because the league has
Start off
changed.
with that. It's all right.
Shit, I'll take $700K to be a bench warmer. any
700K
day.
for
So-
6
so
minutes.
the last
each game?
thing-
I'll be a water boy for 50 grand.
So, hey, facts.
50 grand.
Facts. Hey, so the
Okay,
last
Adam
thing,
Sandler, we see
Side
you.
hustle game going up.
the last thing around the league is Bucks make Lisa. I don't even know this woman, but she's doing something great. I think it's Byington. She's going to be the first women's full-time TV play-by-play announcer in major men's pro sports. So I believe it's Lisa Byington. She's going to be the play-by-play lead for the Bucks. So shout out to her. Let's give her some clap.
Congratulations.
We about the ladies here on this show.
Don't know much about her, but
Shout out to the Sparks. Got another W today.
Spark it up, baby.
Eric Wheeler dropped another player with the same move.
Oh, no.
So shout out to E Weezy. She is a
Taking
baller.
ankles.
Taking
Ankles
ankles
in
in
the
the ER.
ER.
She's taking that real. She
Nominee.
listens to the show. She listens to the
She
show
made
for
it.
sure.
Look, she made it this week. She
Shout
might
out to
make it
Erica
next
doing
year.
her thing, baby.
So shout out to Erica Wheeler for that. So we just took you around the league. Now it's time for Bruce's drops of the week. Bruce, are you ready to go? You got some drops for us?
Yeah, man.
Hey, Will.
But Darius
So,
Slayton just
he
caught a touchdown. That
He gonna
could've
get you
been
fresh.
Sterling Shepard.
Bruce gonna get you fresh.
But yeah, no. So normally, you know how we do it. We're back with the drops of the week. I don't have a team today because that'll be on Mondays, especially during the football season right
Yep.
now, till we get to basketball, which is just around the corner. But
Ooh.
stay fly.
Wait a minute.
It's Thursday. We're gonna give y'all these drops of the week tomorrow. There's a Dunk Mid Social Status chocolate milk for anybody that is a fan of the dunks that have been taking over the world lately. I know Mike Hill will be trying 7 a.m.
Yes, I
tomorrow,
will.
bright and early for those.
People just getting on the dunks, but they still getting more fuego. That's the whole
Oh no,
thing.
they're not really missing with them.
Not at all.
They're still like, and they're dropping all the classics again. So I can't be mad. It's just the resale prices
Exactly.
ridiculous.
Gotta get the
Jesus Christ.
retail, not resale.
But I'm gonna say the reason I'm here is because one of my favorite shoes of all time dropped tomorrow, and that is the Jordan 11 Low IE. And it's like an ugly looking weird shoe for most people, but for me, it's a classic Jordan 11 that I just remember. It has like this nostalgic feeling to me, and I cannot wait to try to take that. And then pair of 13s dropping on Saturday as well. So, like I said, man, y'all come out and take these L's with us.
Take them with
Come and
us.
take these L's with us. You know, other than that, that's all I got on the menu right now. We'll be back with you guys next week. Keep an eye on a few things dropping. I know you took some L's this week, but that's pretty much it right now. There's a few pairs of forces dropping next week as well before we get there on Tuesday. They have a Air Force One LX Turtle forces have been popular lately. You know,
They
forces
have. Colorway
forces
game.
are hot, dunks are hot, and the Jordan ones are always going to be hot. And most J's are hot right now. So
Bruce will tell you take a pair of ones over
Hey,
anything
Tuesday,
right
I'm looking at these white and reds.
it's supposed to drop, and they
I know they push it back.
they push
I
it back
love it.
again.
Hey, Bruce, can we get a Bordeaux update?
Gray and white.
Nothing, man.
I
And
told
that's-
Bruce, I told my wife about his Bordeaux updates, bro. He was upset. He was hurt a little bit and cried in the car when he heard about the pushback.
They just wait. They're supposed to drop in October.
Just
They were supposed to drop in October. They might still come out, but if not, you'll be looking around November, December.
Man, I haven't been this hyped up for a shoe since the foam-posite Doppler radars.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow, bro.
Hey, so shout out to the one who's in the chat,
Just like thermal mask,
who's tapping in. They said Penny. They got Penny as the best Magic player ever. He said
Wow.
Shaq is known for being a Laker. You guys definitely don't know sports. LOL. So somebody
Well,
said Shaq.
that's
Wait,
like the
was
argument
Penny-
of who's the greatest Heat player. Like, it's obviously Dwayne Wade
Yeah.
has the greatest Heat career, but
Yes.
LeBron is clearly the most
The
talented
most-
player to play
yeah,
for the
but
Heat.
Dwayne Wade.
Who was the number one pick for the Orlando Magic? Oh, that's right. Penny wasn't.
Yeah, it was Shaq.
Yeah. And who put them in contention?
So I don't know
Oh,
who
that's
the
right,
one
Shaq.
is.
Who got him to NBA
Hey,
Finals?
Whoever said that, bro, you sound so ridiculous.
Please.
That's
get
that's like saying, oh, LeBron is not a Laker. Like, dude, he goes down as one of the greatest to ever wear that jersey. Although he spent half his career in other places. You
More
have
than
to
half.
give talent its due. Shaq is the most dominant player since Wilt Chamberlain, and guess who drafted him? It was the Orlando Magic. So, by just pure process of just some simplistic logic, it has to come out as Shaq being the greatest Magic to have ever played the game. I don't understand how you could even fix your fingers to type Penny Hardaway, but you just got schooled, bro.
E.
I got it. He's
Hey, wait,
right.
E.
I got you,
This
E.
guy's got to be the same age as Will because clearly doesn't watch basketball or
No,
old
I
school
am
ball.
not.
I said old school
He was a
basketball,
young
bro.
Me into him.
What is he, 18 years old, watching highlight films
I
off
figured
Instagram,
it out.
going like, oh my God, Penny there,
Times, I
Shaq.
figured it out. So
Oh,
the
that
name is the one. It's Penny Hardaway. That's who that is. Penny Hardaway is in the chat room. Shout
I
out
really
to
think
Penny.
this man is taking a break between coach and Memphis to really
Hey,
get
guys,
Eddie in a
Penny
chat.
Hardaway.
Shout out to Penny
Yes.
at Memphis, though. That he's got Emoni Bates.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And shout out to Coach Cal pulling them top recruits back,
You know what? I love
Kentucky's
that you
done,
called
bro.
it Amoni Bates. That's gonna
CATS, cats.
Whatever.
fuck out of here.
Christian Leitner.
Christian
Leitner.
Damn.
Time still hates Christian Leitner.
I hate Christian. Swear to
Why
God,
do y'all
don't get
hate
me
him
going.
so much? Just
He might
let
be
it
one of the
happen.
greatest
Look,
college
just let it
players
happen.
ever. Yeah. So
It happened.
let's get to it.
Alex.
My favorite part of the
It's
show.
gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right.
Let's get a little bit of that hate in. Let's get a
Come
little
on,
bit of that hate.
come on, Brian.
Wait, you smell that in the air, guys? I smell some hate. Come on. Hate.
Hey, Bruce.
Michael smelling
Hey,
funky. He's got some
this
hate.
is my favorite part of the show is the Hate Nats Michael segment. Where I get that, I'm a nice guy, but I like to release some hate from time to time. So there's something that I really have to hate on. So as you guys do know, that us here at Courtside Radio, we are huge hip hop fans. Will, if you don't know, we're huge hip hop fans, and we really tap into that. So I got a lot of hate for this subject because this guy is so wrong. So Quavo, who everybody knows as a member of the Migos, he once dated Sweetie. Shout out to Sweetie. Check your DMs. I'm hitting you up. But Quavo's gay. Are you in there too?
Oh man, what?
Oh, that's a competition, bro. But
All three of us are in there? Damn.
who I'm hating on this week
Throat goat.
has to be Quavo because he gave his top 5 Atlanta rappers of all times, and it goes something like this. He said that it's Migos, 2 Chainz, Future, Outkast, Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
What is he
Future
smoking?
number one.
Who's missing?
He's missing Ludacris,
Okay.
T.I., and Young
I'm
Jeezy.
about to say Jeezy.
When you
gotta be
think
on.
of Atlanta,
You're not throwing
you
Jeezy
got
in there?
Killer Mike, Killer Mike is a name in there. Goody
Put
Mob.
that nigga in the
Yeah,
dirt.
Goody Mob. Like he missed all these
We
names.
smoking on Pookie Loke tonight.
Man, but man,
River
Going
water.
down at the Chattahoochee.
all of these star names, like Ludacris has to be on your top 5.
Luda.
They're young,
his
bro.
run.
Now he lost that when he started doing work with Bieber.
Fuck that.
No.
Hey,
No.
hey, random fact.
Luda T.I. started the trap movement.
T.I. I can understand. But
Goody Mob has CeeLo in it, and they were a part of the Dungeon family.
You know,
Dungeon
you're not
family
gonna
was
say
dope.
Goody Mob. You're
If
gonna
you
get
remember,
that. You're gonna get
if you
that.
real
You're
one, you know the
Outkast.
Dungeon family.
Okay,
You
but
give Outkast
wasn't just
to Goody
Outkast.
Mob.
how is T.I., Luda, and Jeezy not in? What they
I'm
did
cool.
for Atlanta?
I'm cool.
I'm taking out.
I
I'm
like
taking
the
out
list. I like
me.
the
I'm
list.
taking out 2 Chainz. I'm taking out Migos, and I'm taking out Gucci.
As long as you're
You
not
taking
taking
out
out.
Goop? How you taking out WAP? Bro, you can't take out Goop. What are you talking
Mike
about?
Hill when I
Thank
have
you.
a mic
Like,
on
what
for the
the
rest
fuck?
of the show.
Bro,
We'll move on
Atlanta?
from there.
Who?
Because Gucci Mane is one of the best rappers to ever leave Atlanta. Come out of
Years
Atlanta.
ago.
Hey, I'm
People
not
in LA
Hey,
knew
all
what
I'm
Atlanta
saying-
really was
but-
from Gucci.
I
All
can't
I'm saying-
replace Future,
Don't play that.
Outkast.
I don't want Future
all
on
I'm
my
saying
list.
is
at least. I know
Outkast should be
Future's
number
from
one
Atlanta,
on
but
that
I'm not
list.
doing it.
And the other thing I want to say
Hey,
is
cut their
Beautiful
mics.
Skin. I grew
I'm
up
not
on that.
putting Future
Goody
on my
Mob. I
list.
Hey,
fucking
Bruce,
love that
cut-
song.
No.
I'm not
No. I take out Future before
I'm
I
taking
take
Future.
out
I'm taking
Really?
out- yes.
Yeah.
Future
Yes, look,
Wave
look,
is crazy,
No,
bro.
I'm
Generational
not
difference
taking
right now.
that
I'm
out.
not
I'm not
fucking
taking
with
that out.
Future.
I'm not doing that.
But this is my segment, goddammit. This is what I agree with.
Gucci stops.
Nigga, you hate the whole
Gucci
show,
is
nigga.
out. Future is up. Outkast should be number
Hey,
one
Bruce,
on that
cut that
list.
mic, man. Cut
you
that
have
mic.
hate
I
Heart,
don't
let it
know
out.
what everyone is smoking today, but Outkast should be number one on that list.
No,
and that's not even a
Outkast is on
fucking
the
joke.
list, Hein. He's on the
Number
list.
one.
But he didn't rate a rank. He just said
Oh,
who's on
bro,
the
you
list.
should have said that. You said that this was in order.
No. See, this is why this is
I
my
thought you said
segment,
this
man.
was in
Cut
order.
his mic,
He
man.
has Migos on the list at
Number one.
Come on,
That's why
man.
he said
Not
Migos
yet.
first.
No, yeah, but I just
Go
gave
ahead,
you
you
the
got it,
order.
Michael.
But this is what I just can't believe that Luda, T.I., and Jeezy are on his
I
list.
can believe it. They're young.
I don't know,
Exactly.
man. But
Nobody listening to Luda, bruh.
you sleep, bro.
I mean, he was listening
yeah,
to Luda.
I've heard like
Migos.
2 songs.
He ain't
from
listening to
Luda.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's heard 2 songs from
But he
Luda.
probably thinks Future's a lyricist.
Once the show goes on. No, I just think he has hype music.
Okay, I just had to check
See,
that. That was my test.
See, back
Will
in the day,
trying to
Chicken
pull
and
his
Beer
I'm
was
Too
a real
Sexy moment, right?
album
Yeah.
that he
Nah,
back for the
that's all
first
trash.
time.
Facts. And, man, Luda,
Splash Waterfalls did
Luda
happen in
deserves.
life,
He's one of
okay?
the best lyricists from Atlanta. He needs to
I've
be
got
on that
nothing but
list.
respect for Luda. The only thing I'm harping on straight up is that I
Bars.
thought you said that was in order.
No,
And I was
I thought
going
it was
on
too.
Outcast.
I just gave.
See, that's what I'm saying, 'cause I
so
thought
we
you
have the
started off the
panel
list.
saying that you said it in order.
Right when you said it, I
There
started
is
counting down.
zero
You said Migos,
chance
okay,
that
Quavo
anyone
said
would
Migos,
ever
number
say
one, got you.
anyone from Atlanta in terms of like rapping career
Where's
wise.
Phillip when we need him?
Outkast
Outcast
should have
number
been number
I
one.
know.
Phil when we
Facts.
need
There's
him.
no
the
debate.
ATL in himself.
I agree, but I just think that he's completely wrong.
Baby.
I'm gonna have to put my list out. But he did win an interview with Taylor Rooks, so that makes
So
him a winner.
Outkast makes it
But
like, by far,
Hey,
right?
Taylor Rooks,
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
they're
need
number
someone
one.
else to interview.
Yeah.
It's Passover.
That part.
It's Yom Kippur.
So hey,
I'm over
that's
here.
the
You know what to do.
Michael segment. Quavo, come on, man. You gotta know your history of Atlanta hip hop
There
better
wasn't
than
even
that.
much hate today, bro. We had more hate in the panel than you had on your own mind.
No,
today.
because y'all just yeah, I need to hate on
'Cause
y'all
you
for
said the
hating on my
topic wrong,
segment.
bro.
No,
You're
I
like in order.
I gave man, that might be his order because Migos is number one.
That's what.
Yeah,
that's what I thought you
then
said.
that's wrong entirely as well.
And
That's
Bad
why I was like, I
Bruce is still
understand.
going up in the club. But hating that's Michael segment. Bruce, give me some more of that hate before we get up out of here, man.
If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Oh man, hate.
Top of the morning.
Yes, sir. Hey, so we thank y'all for tapping in with us. We about to shut this thing down and get up out of here. Throwback Thursday Player of the Week is real simple. We got my guy Will in the building from Fox. We got Himes in the building. So the Throwback Thursday
It's
Player
gonna
of the
be
Week
Mark
is it's actually J-Dub. You know what that is? White chocolate, baby.
Of course.
White
Behind the
chocolate.
back passes in
I
the
may be
league.
young, but I've done my history.
Okay, perfect. So make sure y'all check out
Hey, Mike,
our.
I told you, white chocolate's one of my favorite point
No,
guards of all
he was
time,
the
bro.
truth. He was the truth. So
Whoa,
Swaggy.
pause.
check out Courtside
Hall
Radio
of
Instagram page where you can check out our Throwback Thursday Player of the Week. It's so much more content that we got for you guys. We thank you guys for tuning in. And Will, where can they find you on social media?
Will Pruitt 31 on Instagram and Will Pruitt 20 on Twitter, and that's about it.
Okay.
Hey, run that.
Hey, facts. So shout out to my guy. Will was actually born 2 weeks ago, and he's here with us. So much love to him. But we thank you guys for tuning in. Catch us Monday, where we're gonna have Courtside from the sidelines and so much more.
Shout out
Hans,
E
what
for
you
the
got?
penny zone.
To everyone from the tribe, We appreciate you tuning in. Happy Passover and happy Yom Kippur. Atone for what you need to and start this new year
Shout out
off
to
right.
the tribe.
We appreciate you
Tribe
guys
Called
tuning
Quest,
in.
baby.
Oh, come on,
Q-tip.
baby. You know how it goes. Electric relaxation blowing
Rest
up in the
in peace,
building right
Fife.
now. Let's go.
Facts. So we up out of here. Bruce, take us out here because I am too sexy. It's way too sexy. So we out of here, man. Peace. Y'all have a good one. Good night.
Stay focused. Y'all know what it is.
Shout out to my boy Mike. Happy birthday!
Peace out, YouTube. We thank y'all.
Time before Duke.
Much love. Whoever going to watch this video later, much love to y'all for tapping in. Hey, this is bro, we got black, white, black. Bro, it's love up in here. Martin Luther King will be proud of us, man.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
We playing chess.
Facts. Can you play chess, Hans?
Just look at
I'm more of a
mirror,
checkers
mirror
guy.